Trump exposing it all right in front of our eyes, and it seems like not enough people are talking about this. Now, he's only been in office for just a little bit, but since he's been there, he's been taking care of business, reversing all the things that Joe Biden did, and it seems like everybody is either happy about this or they're very upset about this. Let's watch this because he just exposed some of the things that Social Security is doing, some of the things that the government is doing, some of the things that are happening, even get this, within the White House that nobody seems to be talking about. But when this man got in here, he started exposing it all. Let's watch this video and prepare to be amazed.
Where's the money being spent, right? Let's go into that for just a second. $520 million for a consultant on the environment. It's called Environmental, Social, and Governance. Investments in Africa and mobilize private sector resources. $520 million. Somebody got $520 million for an environmental. Sounds like an environmental study. I've always been one that paid a lot of money for my environmental studies, but I paid like $50,000.
Not 500,000. So what is he saying here? He's saying that all of this money was just being wasted while Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris was in office. And anybody with half common sense can see that. And for anybody that may be watching me right now and you're saying, oh, the economy was better, my life was better during Joe Biden's term in office, you've got to be kidding yourself, because even if you have that opinion, you're right to your own opinion, even if it may be wrong, but look at the paper, look at the statistics on a sheet, and you will see that it far compares with Trump being in office the past 4 years that he was in office, and then this term that is coming up. He's a money man. He knows how to spend money and how to appropriate funds so that we don't get ourselves into further debt and just waste resources. Let's continue.
520 million.
I said 500,000, 520 million.
$20 million for ESG. $25 million to promote biodiversity, conservation, and promote licit livelihoods by developing socially responsible behavior in the country of Colombia. Well, it's nice. $25 million to go into Colombia.
Wow.
For something that nobody ever heard of. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. $40 million. $42 million for Johns Hopkins, great place, to research and drive social and behavior change in Uganda. $42 million. What about us?
Yeah, that's my point exactly. I'm not against the United States helping other countries. I'm all for it. But we need to focus on our country, because we can't dig ourselves in a hole and then worry about every other country. We as Americans need to know that we have a leader who's going to put his country first.
What about social change in our country? $70 million for a center at Purdue to research university-sourced, evidence-based solutions to developmental challenges. I mean, these are massive numbers on things that nobody ever heard about.
Yeah, $10 million. It's not like it's a little, if it was a little bit here and there, but this massive amount. And where do you think this money is going? Do you think this money is actually going to these places? Or do you think there's a deeper conspiracy that many politicians and high up officials are putting some of this cash in their pocket? Are you hearing me right now?
For Mozambique voluntary medical male circumcisions. $10 million for circumcisions in another country. $9.7 million for UC Berkeley to develop a cohort of Cambodian youth with enterprise-driven skills. In other words, let's teach them something about enterprise. What about our people?
Yeah.
Can't we teach them about enterprise? $2.3 million for strengthening independent voices in Cambodia. $32 million to the Prague Civil Society Center, which is a very liberal group of people. Wonder how much of that money came back to the people that approved it. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia.
All of these are other nations that they're giving it. I mean, very few that he's mentioned have been for in-house. I mean, think about it. What are they doing with all this money? How are they appropriating this? This is why, and I'll get back to the video, I'm not going to waste your time, but this is why you need somebody who is already wealthy going into the White House. Because look at the salaries that past presidents have made. And then how do they get paid like $200,000 a year for being the president, but their net worth goes up by 40, 50, 100, $200 million at the end of their 4-year term? How do you think that? It's because of all these secret things that they're doing with the money, appropriating it for wars and different things so they can cash in their good checks.
$486 million to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including $22 million for inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova, and $21 million for voter turnout in India. Well, why are we giving $21 million to India? They got a lot of money. They're one of the highest taxing countries in the world. In terms
India?
of us, we can hardly get in there because their tariffs are so high.
They're doing for voters in India. What about our voting system? We can all agree that in 2020 and 2024, it was whack. A bunch of things that took place and all these mishaps and all this stuff. What about our nation?
I have a lot of respect for India. I have a lot of respect for the Prime Minister. He just left, as you know, 2 days ago. But we're giving $21 million for voter turnout.
What?
It's voter turnout in India. What about, like, voter turnout here? Oh, we've done that, I guess. We did $500 million, didn't we? It's called the lockboxes.
Oh.
$20 million for fiscal federalism in Nepal. Listen to these numbers.
Once again,
this is all fraud.
Another country.
$19 million
Wait, what did he just say?
Listen to these numbers. This is all fraud.
This is all fraud.
$19 million for biodiversity conservation in Nepal. $1.5 million for voter confidence. We want to give them confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali.
Mali.
$2.5 million for inclusive democracies in South Africa. $47
when have you heard anything about the United States primarily?
million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well. They're doing a lot better than we do in the schools, aren't they? $2 million to develop sustainable recycling models to increase socioeconomic cohesion among marginalized communities in Kosovo and Eskali and in Egypt.
Egypt?
We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. I could, by the way, I could read this all day long. I could go on all day long.
Yeah.
And you'll see hundreds of billions of dollars.
So anybody that wants to say about, I don't think this, look at the paper, look at the statistics, read the sheet, and tell me for yourself what you actually think. This is absolutely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Because why? Because it's all a deeper scandal. Why do you think people want wars? We could all be at peace, but why do you think people want wars? It's because when you have wars, you can have taxes. When you have taxes, you have extra money for politicians to put in their pocket. But you have Donald Trump, who is a self-made billionaire, billionaire, so he doesn't have to worry about making all this money. That's why the Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. So he comes in here, he doesn't have to worry about getting a paycheck. He could care less. He's doing this because he cares about the American people and about our nation as a whole and seeing that the next generation has a brighter and better tomorrow. Are you hearing me today? So you have Donald Trump who goes in there and he's just wrecking everything. Complete havoc on the whole system. And we need people who are smart enough to realize that this man is not out for the harm of your children. He's not out for the harm of this country. He's here to better this country. And if you can't see that, look at all these hundreds of millions. He said his words, billions of dollars. I believe, did he even say hundreds of billions of dollars that we are just giving away, throwing away to causeless things in other countries and other things that don't even matter. And we wonder what is happening to the 30-something trillion dollars that we are in debt in this nation. How come that hasn't gotten paid off? It's because the past presidents have been too concerned with helping all these other countries. Why? It's all a big scandal. If you can't see that, listen, you need to wake up and realize there is a lot more to the picture than we are actually seeing. And we need to wake up, and I believe Americans are waking up and realizing that there's a system that needs to get exposed, and I'm thankful that President Donald Trump is going to expose it and already has exposed a lot of it. So like I said in the thumbnail, he's exposing it all. Let's break this down even further in future videos. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and if you like the message that I'm talking about here, you know, like I've said many times in my videos, I'm a current event guy. I post a lot about politics, but above that, I'm the preacher and preacher of the gospel. And if you like what I'm doing and would like to support me financially, you can do that down below in the Patreon link. Because many of you don't know this, but this YouTube channel and the partners that come in from this YouTube channel actually help me go out into this great nation and preach the gospel all across the United States. God has given me mission to go preach, and I would love your support financially to help me go across this great nation and see God send a revival one last time, a third great awakening right before Jesus comes back and brings us all home to heaven. Souls are the most important thing, and I have a mission to go win souls. If you would like to support me and back this young 21-year-old financially, I would greatly appreciate it. The link is down in the description or in the comments down below. Thanks for watching this video. Remember, don't go woke, but stay awake to the things that are happening and understand there is an agenda that we need to expose. And I'm thankful he's exposing it. Amen. Love you guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.